Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Divorce View radio talk show. This is Joanie Winberg, certified human behavior consultant, divorce mentor, and CEO of the National Association of Divorce for Women and Children. Of course, I'm always thrilled to be doing this show together with my co-host, Rosalind Sedacca. Hi, Roz.
Hi, Joanie. I'm Rosalind Sedacca. I'm recognized as the voice of child-centered divorce and the founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network for Parents. And we have an important topic to talk about today that I'm very excited to get into. Why don't you open that door for us?
Okay, our guest tonight, David Essel, had an emergency and he's not able to join us, but we're going to talk about tonight how to release all past relationships so that you can be present in your current relationship or a new one or your next one. If I said this in English, Roz, I would say how to either deal with your baggage or get rid of your baggage for the next relationship. Would you interpret it that way as well?
Oh, absolutely. The reality is all of us bring baggage into relationships unless perhaps we're starting out as a very young teenager. And so we have experiences, and this is a Divorce View talk show, so we're assuming that you're people who have experienced divorce, and divorce brings a ton of baggage with it. Whether you've initiated the divorce or whether the divorce was thrown upon you, it's a situation that's trying, challenging, and can drive you crazy. And while you're moving through divorce, the thought of going ahead and starting over again in a new relationship can really seem overwhelming. So that's what we want to talk about, preparing and getting psyched up for moving ahead.
I think part of it, too, is that people are excited to get into a new relationship. They may be lonely. They may see that their ex is dating. You know, society does put pressure on us to say, you're home alone on a weekend, something's wrong with you. So I look at it this way, that's why people are jumping into relationships maybe too quickly after divorce because of some of this pressure. Would you say?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you haven't really done what I call the inner work. When I do workshops and seminars, I'm always stressing the importance of understanding the part you played in your divorce. Because if you can't start by taking responsibility for whatever happened, doesn't mean the divorce is your fault, doesn't mean you're blaming yourself. But even if you look at it as entirely your ex's fault or your former spouse's fault, we all played a part. And what we need to do before we move ahead is get a clean palette and look at that. What part did I play? It may be making the decision to marry the wrong person. It may be accepting abusive behavior or manipulation or coercions or being treated in ways that now when you think about it, you never should have allowed it. Or it may be that you were abusive or overly aggressive or assertive in the relationship and imposed upon your partner. Whatever it is, if you understand it and acknowledge it, you can move forward. We can't change what we don't first acknowledge. Isn't that so?
Absolutely. I think the first step, the most difficult, is really to look in the mirror and say, okay, it does take two. What do I need to learn about myself, and what areas do I need to work on? Maybe I wasn't this understanding, or maybe this stuff that I could have done differently. I always feel as though we still have to look in the mirror ourselves and do some of that work. And it's not fun, it's not easy. The ego can get in the way, and some people never do it. But to me, I wanted to be the best I could be and to attract the kind of people into my life that I would like to have in my life. So I thought, I've got to take responsibility for me, look in the mirror, and deal with it.
Yeah, and there's no doubt it isn't easy. But for people who do, then you could look back at your divorce and say, okay, there was a meaning behind it. There was a gift for me personally in this divorce. It may have been very painful, and hurtful for me, and I may be riddled with all kinds of emotions, anger and resentment and hurt and rage and a multitude of other feelings. But if I learn something from it, and I'm going to move ahead in a different way and make different choices and find a different kind of partner who's a better match and suits me better, then it wasn't all in vain. Otherwise, and we know that statistics prove it out, you find another person with a different face, but it's the same partner over and over again, and you inevitably end up divorced again and again and again. So it can only start by self-examination and getting insights and awareness so that you can move ahead and say, I'm starting and I'm a different person now, and I'm moving ahead, looking to attract a different, healthier, better, more loving relationship partner for my life.
Absolutely. Like I said, it has to start with yourself. Plus, I know when after my divorce, I think we all made this mistake. We do date the person we just divorced. There's a lot of similarities there, and that was very obvious. I could tell I really needed to do the deal and do some work, and it became more, or I became more conscious of that as time went on. And also I thought, you know, if I want to be happy and to have that person be part of my life, who in him would be part of my children's life, then, you know, I really do need to do the work. But, you know, I'm sure we all had some of those first experiences of dating afterwards that you look back now and you think, oh my gosh, did I really date that person?
But some people stay stuck in that place, and that's what we want to help people understand that you can't do. So it's important to ask yourself some deep questions and really be able to look at what part you played in the failure of the marriage, what part your partner played, and how you may have butt against each other in ways that you could do differently. Because conflict's inevitable with another person. No matter how much you love them, there's going to be conflict. And it's our ability to handle conflict, to know when to fight battles and when to let go and not fight battles, to know how to diffuse tension. There are communication skills that'll accelerate and escalate tension, or will diffuse and keep the person from getting on the defensive. So there's ways that we can learn and understand how to communicate better. There's ways to listen better and to let your partner feel heard. And there's ways to also learn to be more assertive and stand up for yourself if you have been the kind of person that has been abused. One of the things I always tell clients is that we teach people how to treat us. So what did you teach your partner? What ways did you teach them to treat you? And how would you want your new partner to treat you differently? And how would you be treating your new partner differently?
So would you say that it starts with respect for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. You can't do anything if you don't love and respect yourself. Then you can't attract a partner who's of a high caliber, who's going to treat you the way we want you to be treated and you deserve to be treated. Because some people walk around with a sign that basically says, kick me, abuse me, hurt me. You know, they don't realize that it's written there, but it's on their face and it's in their attitude. I don't deserve more. I don't deserve better. So they're open and asking for abuse. They accept it. When it happens, they don't change partners and say, I deserve better than this, and close the door. And so it happens. It's inevitable. And there are people out there who are looking for people who are just perfect to be the victims of their abusive natures.
Absolutely. It also starts with how we, or what we think about ourselves. I know women in general tend to feel I'm not good enough, whether I'm too tall, too short, too fat, too this or that.
Well,
yeah. So I look at it that, you know, it starts with believing in yourself, knowing that you're unique, and how great you really are. I always, during my workshops, I always say to the women, or even men as well, you know, you are magnificent. You're already the person, you're already magnificent just the way you are. And it's just removing some of those layers that we need to really find the core. I call it the gold nugget of who we are.
Yeah. And people are attracted to other people who are confident and exude a kind of energy that says, I'm a great catch. We all want a great catch. And there are other people who just don't exude an energy of confidence, and those are people who just fall back, and it's all an inner game. We've all seen people who are with other people, and you say, how did that person get this really attractive partner with them? They're not that great looking, and it has nothing to do with looks. It's not about height and weight and age and all of those things that we initially think it's about. It's about what energy about yourself are you exuding so that people want to be around you. Do you have a sense of humor? Do you have an interesting personality? Do you have things about you that people will want to know more about? Are you a good listener so that you could talk to other people and hold a conversation and not being a narcissist about it? There are so many qualities. And the good news is we can learn to change and master any of those skills. There are coaches like you and I all over the country, all over the world now, who specialize in all facets of relationships and self-esteem issues and helping people make inner changes. And when you make those inner changes, they manifest on the outer, and that's when you just bump into someone and that chemistry clicks and it all starts happening in a different way.
And also, granted, if you've had a past or were raised in a negative, toxic environment, that's tough to deal with. Yet you have the ability to change that. I know as far as people that have grown up in a toxic environment where parents were very negative, once you get exposed to the world and realize that that is not the way is a healthy environment, or that's not a healthy environment, you have a choice, or you can help yourself change and do as far as listen to CDs, read books, hang with people that are positive and have a healthy outlook. So even though your past might have not been the best or the most positive environment, you still can be conscious of what you had and say, I love them for who they are. They did the best they could, but that doesn't mean I have to follow their footsteps and treat people around me that way or be that way or carry those traditions or carry that type of environment for my own children. Have you talked and dealt with people like this as well?
Oh, absolutely. You're so right, Joanie. And that's why I feel so strongly that this is wonderful news, because it's not a sentence that our lives are stuck in wherever we are today. Everyone who is a great achiever in life has overcome obstacles, and you can overcome whatever particular baggage or burdens or obstacles you've had in the past, and with determination to do it, you can do it. So that means your future is as bright as you want it to be. And the worst thing to do, especially after a divorce and you've been beaten up by life circumstances, is to feel like a victim and to sit and have a pity party. Sure, you're going to do that for a while. We all deserve a chance to feel sorry for ourselves and our circumstances, but we do need to pick ourselves up and say, okay, this is my starting over opportunity. Something better is ahead for me, and I'm looking forward to that. And we want to be a role model for our children and teach them that as well. We don't want them to feel like they're victims of circumstances, but that they're capable of doing things and changing things in life. So learn some of the lessons and make some personal growth steps and master some skills in listening and communicating, and learn about what it is that makes you more desirable in a relationship, and then role model for your children the kinds of things that you are learning for yourself, because it'll be a wonderful gift for them.
Absolutely, definitely. And I think the biggest thing is to accept that, yes, we all have baggage that we bring to a relationship. To me, that's part of it. So accept it, deal with it, be conscious of it, and change it. That's simple.
And when you meet someone and you're on a first date or a second date, and you don't want to be going through the drama of your relationship and your divorce and talking about that and being caught up too much in the past. You don't want to be spending time with someone new, reflecting on the past and whining or crying or telling your victim story. You really want to feel fresh so you could look ahead. In my workshops, I always use the analogy of someone looking ahead at a new partner, but their face is turned back this way because they're still thinking about their ex. They're so angry at their ex. They felt so abused. They're so caught up in the drama of the past that even though their arms are facing this way, if their head is looking back, you can't get into a healthy relationship. So you have to be focused. You have to be looking ahead, and that means you have to let go emotionally, psychologically, and physically. Let go of the past. That partner, your co-parent, may be in your life for the rest of your life because you have children, and we talk a lot about that. But that doesn't mean they're in your life in a way that they have to be playing a part in the health of your future relationships. You want to let them go. Be willing to just drop all the emotion that kept you connected in the past relationship, the toxic relationship, and forgive. You do it for you. You forgive to free you from that bond, and then you could move on and move ahead in a healthy manner. It's liberating, and it's a gift to you that you give to yourself.
Absolutely. I think of it, why do I want to give that person that much attention and all my energy
Yes.
and drain that energy from me? Every time you make a nasty comment or insult or talk about your ex, you're still allowing them to control part of your life, and drain you.
And
To
that's
me,
what it is.
yeah,
That's a very good analogy. It is. It's draining you of your energy. And how can you get into a fulfilling, happy relationship with a new partner, a healthy, good partner who may be a wonderful match for you, if so much of your energy is focused on that other person? It isn't fair to the new relationship, and it's really going to damage it.
absolutely, definitely. And just a side note, because we always talk about the kiddos here, kids see and hear a lot more than we give them credit for. So even though you have a smile on your face and everything seems fine, they can still pick up that bitterness or anger or your frustration,
Depression.
your baggage that you're carrying with you
Yes.
still,
Yes.
whether for them or for a new relationship, but they sense it. So the bottom line, I guess I'm a bottom liner here, the bottom line is to be conscious of who you are, what you're doing, what you're going through, do the work, become a new you, break this I guess I would say the ties or
Mm-hmm.
whatever holding you back, break through
And the
and
patterns,
yeah,
old
and
patterns,
be the person you really are.
and want to be. Absolutely. And that is just gives you something to look forward to.
Mm,
And if you need support, there are support groups, there are support systems, there's wonderful resources on the internet and websites, and we're here for you. And there are so many resources now. There's no excuse not to get the help, the assistance, the guidance, the support that you need on whatever level you want it, because it's good to know that you're not alone and that there are other people out there. We've all gone through this. You're
yeah,
not reinventing anything. And
no,
if there are ways that you could short circuit the painful part of the experience and accelerate moving ahead and finding a good match and a catch for you, then by all means you want to be doing that. For example, I have a dating rescue e-course.
Oh, good. I was going to say, let's talk about that.
Yeah, and it's a 10-week program, so every week you get another module of the course for 10 weeks, and it just goes through everything we just talked about and a lot more in depth, so you could get cleansed of the past and get rid of the baggage, and then move ahead and reinventing yourself the way you want to attract a happy, meaningful, lasting relationship. And I also have a program called Mastering the Challenges of Dating, a Success Formula for Men. So we have, and that comes in 2 different modules, but it's a program that gives men insight into what women are looking for in a partner, because when men just talk among themselves, there's a lot of erroneous information going on, and they really don't understand what women want. So if you want the edge in a relationship, then this is a wonderful opportunity to get the insight from what women are looking for, and then feel comfortable in just being yourself and delivering that in your relationship partners, because women aren't looking for the kind of guys that guys want to be with each other, that's for sure.
The best place to go, too, that's why you see across the screen under our names, divorceview.com. You'll see all the shows. They're in the archives of the past shows to any particular topic that you want to review and see again. Also, when you go to divorceview.com, over to the right, you'll see 2 different links, one for Roz and one for myself. Roz has been describing some of her great programs that she has to support you and help you getting back into the dating game. For myself, the link there is called gettingalongsolutions.com. To me, it's the foundation to everything. If you don't really understand yourself, it's pretty tough to understand others. And so it's the core of knowing who you are, why you do what you do, as well as starting to understand why others do what they do. So not only is it helpful for you to get along with your ex, because you can understand what's going on, even probably more clarity than when you were married, then also there's have the clarity when you're dating someone new, and also the clarity of understanding your kids, especially if you're raising them as a single parent. So go to divorceview.com. A lot of great stuff there. And Roz, anything else you'd like to add before we kind of wind up today's show?
Well, I think the most important message is that love yourself and focus on your value and your attributes. And if you feel good and feel your worth, then it's going to be much easier for others to find your worth as well. And then you'll be able to choose the partner out of a level of confidence. Choose the partner that you think is the best fit for you.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a different kind of a show, but Roz and I do this all the time, so for us, we can talk about these things 24/7.
Absolutely.
So do remember that we're here to support you, whether you're thinking about getting a divorce, whether you're in the middle of a divorce, or you're ready to move your life forward after divorce. And as you can see, we're even here to support you when you want to get back into the dating game. So tune in. This is an exception this week. We're on Tuesday evenings, but our show is every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in and join us. And also go to divorceview.com if you have any particular topics you'd like us to discuss, any questions you have of either one of us. So feel free to do that as well. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll certainly see you next week.
Bye-bye now.